Hey guys, it's me Beata from Horoscopes and Readings.com, and this is going to be new video. But first of all, if you are new here and you like my content, please hit the subscribe button so I can grow my audience. Obviously, I am your astrologer and you can book your reading online with me. I specialized in relationships, but I'm able or capable to interpret any type of chart. Just really read the description below this video or check my website horoscopesandreadings.com. So, guys, I remember once I had a consultation with my astrologer, and he told me that no wonder you are into astrology and things like that, because he told me that in your case, like in my horoscope, it makes sense for you to really getting understanding of what astrology or really what emotions really are. It really gives you that rationalization, because astrology is quite rational tool in my opinion. And he told me that this really gives you grounding effect to your life and to your reality. So no wonder, because I have Moon square Uranus 0 degree. I also have Moon square Mars, and Mars and Uranus are in conjunction, and Aries rules my 8th house. And I have some bunch other stuff going on with my moon, obviously, but Moon-Pluto aspect, easy contact, is my loud one. It really gives me tendency to go deeper to people, and very naturally, really, I understand that, and I am drawn to depths. So, what I wanted to tell you or really talk about today is Moon square Pluto aspect in a birth chart. And I was actually looking forward for this one, because I am actually drawn to people that have this aspect, because obviously these are deep people of a planet like Eckhart Tolle, my ever favorite spiritual teacher, but not everyone is like him. And what I wanted to talk about, and I would like to share my experiences based on my experiences and also theory, but also I would like to hear your thoughts. Okay, because what I've noticed with people Moon square Pluto is really like you would never tell that this person has this aspect or opposition. Conjunction is a bit different, in my opinion. If someone has conjunction, it can be incorporated much more easily. So no wonder so many of my clients have this square, because they somehow feel that I can help them or understand them at least, and it's typically the truth. So you don't notice people with this aspect. This is very interesting, because Moon square Pluto in their raw energy is aspect that is overly sensitive. But these people, they really do everything what's possible on this planet to hide their feelings and to really hide that things are really touching them on a very deep level. And it is not like they present themselves, uh, these people can be the most sensitive people on the earth, but you may never know, because they will not tell you, because these people, they think that if they show their emotions or their raw emotions, because their emotions are very raw in their own world, a lot of drama, but they believe that if they show their emotions, it is going to be the sign of weakness. So these are control freaks, right? They control themselves very much, and it is difficult for you, if you're like, normal person, you really don't want to play games and still, looking after the clues. Once you're mature enough, you don't want to do that, right? Because it can be exhausting for you to really, trying to figure out, it's always like walking on eggshells with this type of people, and especially with someone like me, because I have really history of connections, uh, of people with this type of energy, people, partners, everybody, friends. And I have this tendency to pick up on the nuances of the people in general. It's probably that Moon Uranus square, Moon Pluto trine in my chart. And I know that something is off with them, even though they don't talk about it. That's why these people typically trust me, because they feel like I really get them, even though they don't have to tell it, because typically they don't tell it. It has to be like they have to feel like they're losing you for good, and only then they will show you their true cards. Until then, they are definitely living in a world where they obviously they have to process their deep dramatic emotions, overly sensitive, but they don't want to show it. But if you are in a partnership with this type of person, obviously you may feel like something is off, but this is the person, it's pretty much that Pluto person. Moon Pluto person is a Pluto person to me, and they don't talk straight. They don't talk like, this is what bothers me. These are not people with much words in general. And when it comes to feelings, it's even worse. But what can be happening if you are in a relationship with this type of individual is really that withdrawal. Withdrawal is number one thing. When they feel like you hurt them, they will not tell you. They will just withdraw because they have to process it. On the surface, what you can really notice on the surface is really that they are acting slightly cold, or there is this like pause, that person is not communicating, but this can be nuances. Okay, so if you are like, if you have a lot of earth in your chart, you may not even notice that there is this change energetic, but there's always energetical change. So opening up to these people and be vulnerable, it's to them, it's the biggest threat of all. When I often talk about Scorpio people, that they don't trust easily, so this is the same. This person, in his or her core, believes that you can always betray them. Another thing that is connected to these deep emotions is that these people struggle with their self-worth. They simply believe that they are not good enough. They simply feel like once you find out how vulnerable and sensitive they are on the inside, um, you will reject them. And rejection is also one of the biggest fear of Moon Pluto person in general. So you know, what was really helping me during my life with this type of people is, is simply my intuition that I knew, I suspected what's going on in their own world before it has actually happened. Okay, so to be very specific, these people can be very, very jealous, but again, they will not tell you. You know, they can be a little bit sarcastic when they are getting jelly, but they are not straight to your face. Okay, so even in a friend situation, your friend with this square may get jealous on your other friend, but will not tell you. So if you want to maintain, you know, if you think you can handle that, if you want to maintain this type of relationship, you better tell them before. You know, if you are in a friendship situation with this, let's say in my case it was a girl, but I also, you know, wanted to meet like other friend of mine. I told her like beforehand, you know, but let me tell you, her reaction was like, well, yeah, that's okay, that's fine, you know. So they don't admit, but this is what makes these people secure, right? Once you tell them that, you know, I'm just going to hang out with my other friend, they don't feel like like you are abandoning them, because they are attached to you, right? If you have a connection with Moon-Pluto person, they are attached to you, and they can pretty much become addicted to you in a sense, but you have to be very careful with their emotions. And this was difficult for me to even understand, you know, because you really think that if we are adults, we should be able to cope with things, with really some of the stuff, even emotional stuff on our own. But these people, they really need this reassurance, you know. I can see this very clearly with my son, but he's a child, so that's okay. But he's like very scorpionic in nature, and he's Scorpio sun, but also moon, everything in the eighth house, so that's a lot of stuff. But you know, I see these coping mechanisms, but he's a child. But what's the biggest fear of these people, Moon Pluto, is that they feel like they could lose you for someone else, you know. That's why I oftentimes have to say my son that, you know, I just really want to talk to your sister and have some fun with her, but my love is big, and it doesn't mean that my love for you is now less because I just want to play with her. So yeah, uh, these are these nuances, and once these people trust you with their heart, because this can be the most loyal individuals you will ever meet. You know, Weekend has Moon in Scorpio, and he has the song Die For You. And yes, only these people can die for you. So, this is very interesting to me because I love to dive deeper. But of course, they are every time they are overly sensitive, but they will not tell you. Okay, so just, you know, if you are aspiring astrologer, if you know their chart, then yes, act accordingly, because there is a lot of jealousy, possessiveness, not trusting you, you know, just playing these games, this withdrawal. There's a lot of stuff, and not everyone can really understand that, because most people in their surroundings don't know them on that level because they never shown their true cards. So it can be very difficult, right, to deal with this type of people. So I had to learn this myself. But I guess the biggest understanding came with my son, because I see his reactions daily, and I just really found out that he is just scared to lose my love, which is something that is, yeah, hard to understand for me, obviously. But I don't have this so much drama. Actually, I do, but I'm I'm much older now, but I can always sense people, and if something is off with them. But if your person has this combination, Moon square Pluto, Moon opposition Pluto, well, yeah. Sometimes I guess I just could not get it, because I also have Pluto Saturn conjunction in my own birth chart, and my Pluto makes trine to my Moon, and my Saturn makes trine to my um, Moon as well. So yeah, there's a lot of going on with my Moon, and I just could not get it. Like some people, they need this reassurance. But what really a Moon Pluto person will respect you for is if you will not judge them for their emotional sensitivity, and you will take them seriously. Okay, so they can handle when you are going out with your friends or things like that. They can even trust you, but they just need to know it beforehand. And yes, you have to assure them about your love. Okay, so I am very curious, guys, about your thoughts on this one. And yeah, if you want me, I can have your chart read, and I can you advise on your person. I've been in this field more than 15 years. In my home country, I am also a tarot reader, but some of you also had tarot reading with me. But here we do astrology. But yeah, so there's a lot of like deep psychology going on, but it's totally worth it. So have a good day, and bye bye.